All right, so we've now heard from 8 CEOs presenting their company's integrated long-term plans. So what are these plans and what are they based on? We wanted to share CECP's updated integrated long-term plan framework to show what is behind these presentations and why CECP has taken this role in the capital markets. Over the last decade, CEOs have faced mounting pressure to produce short-term profits, increasing the likelihood of management practices that reduce long-term value. In recent years, however, many large institutional investors are seeking out companies' long-term strategies, yet corporate strategy and practice are inadequately captured in corporate shareholder communications. So CECP has taken the lead to help operationalize the call for long-term value creation. And I wanted to share a bit of the background and the history of CECP's integrated long-term plan framework. The tension between the short-term and long-term was a hot topic of conversation at CECP's 2015 Board of Boards meeting, our annual gathering of CEOs, which actually just took place earlier this week on Monday. And as a result of this dialogue, CECP, along with Bill McNabb, former chairman and CEO of Vanguard, and Alex Korsky, former chairman and CEO of Johnson & Johnson, led a series of interviews and working groups to spearhead an initiative to rewire the capital markets toward the long term, culminating in the CEO Investor Forum, which was initially known as the Strategic Investor Initiative. CECP held its first CEO Investor Forum in 2017. Yesterday marks our 11th. And last month, CECP released an updated framework calling greater attention to material, environmental, and social issues, and updating the name from long-term plan framework to integrated long-term plan framework to reflect the changing business and reporting landscape. The integrated long-term plan framework helps companies articulate their 3 to 7 year strategy, organize internally, and better coordinate efforts cross-functionally. The framework encompasses 11 themes, which you see here. Addressing these themes communicates relevant information that extends beyond quarterly earnings calls to deepen and enrich stakeholders' understanding of the company's growth opportunities, risk factors, and long-term value proposition. A good integrated long-term plan is stakeholder-oriented and communicates the company's value creation story and includes material issues while considering the role of the corporation and society over the next 3 to 5 years. We know the reporting landscape is already overly complicated and saturated, and we don't intend this to be for another reporting ask. The companies we've worked with indicate that integrated long-term plans actually don't add another request to the queue. In fact, most companies find reporting new efficiencies and streamlining techniques through the experience. And the integrated long-term plan provides an opportunity to give context to strategy, consolidate disclosures, and take more control of the company's narrative. It also helps companies break silos within the organization and better align corporate sustainability strategy with the overall company-wide goals. There are many reasons why a company would want to deliver a long-term plan and create one internally. And CEOs in particular are motivated for a few reasons. We've heard that there's frustration around the overly short-term focus on the quarterly earnings calls and wanting to put their short-term goals in the context of their long-term strategy. The ability to wrap a coherent narrative around an increasingly complex disclosure landscape. And then thirdly, present a long-term vision that really reinforces industry leadership, corporate purpose, and impact on society. Additionally, a company as a whole would want to create a long-term plan to address both internal and external stakeholders, including attracting and retaining employees, utilizing a framework to effectively communicate to its long-term stakeholders, and then owning the narrative, because if you don't tell your story, then someone else will do it for you. And in conjunction with the framework, CECP has developed an integrated long-term disclosure assessment to help companies understand how their public disclosures align with the integrated long-term plan framework. This is another rating or ranking, as this is only shared with the company and is intended to be a tool to help communicate strategy and to help with communications and strategic planning. And this assessment looks at a company's publicly facing disclosures, such as sustainability reports, their 10Ks, proxy statements and other investor presentations, and then compares it against the framework's 11 themes, which also have 34 smaller line items. And the assessment helps companies understand which of these line items which are really important to long-term investors, are covered in their disclosures. And each line item is assigned a number from 0 to 5 to indicate whether that line item has boilerplate information. It discusses backward or forward-looking information, as well as whether measurable metrics are shared as well. So that is our integrated long-term plan framework and assessment in a nutshell. And on behalf of Daryl and everyone at CECP, we wanted to extend a huge thank you to the 8 CEOs that presented their integrated long-term plans, the speakers and panelists that have shared their insights, and everyone who attended in person and virtually over the past 2 days. It's been an inspiring 2 days, and while we as a planet have a lot more to do to mitigate climate change, it's heartening to hear how corporations and investors are really leading the way on this. We're looking forward to our 12th CEO Investor Forum in November 2024 as CECP celebrates its 25th anniversary. We're also excited to announce we'll be hosting an executive workshop in the spring on how to operationalize and use the integrated long-term plan framework. So if you're interested in learning more about CECP, please reach out to info@cecp.co, and we'd love to connect. Thank you.